Good morning. Good morning. Truth Disclosure 369 in the house once again. Got my partner in the background. Midnight the Battle Cat. Just on here for a little bit today. Hope everyone's doing well. Greeting each and every person who may come across this video and the universal greeting words of peace. As we know now, nothing is getting any better in our society, whether it be in the United States or anywhere else. It's still more craziness and confusion all over. Um, I'm pretty sure everybody know about the talking points with Twitter and all this crap. You know, people are always looking for, and it's sad because when I look at it, I don't knock nobody, I don't judge nobody. I try not to. You know, I'm not perfect myself. I'm in work in progress, still moving toward it, but I try not to judge people. But it's like everybody's looking for a savior or somebody to save them from, erroneous shit that's out here. So a lot of people has put a lot of focus on Elon Musk like he's really doing something, but I'm gonna go to that a little bit later. I just wanted to get on here and share some things real quick. Um, it's a lot of fear mongering going on, the threat of nuclear war, the threat of this, the threat of that. It's crazy. I just wanted to go to this. Let me see if it comes up, then I'll post it, share it real quick. This is a website. I happen to, somebody sent it to me. I never knew it existed till then. And once I got it, I started to spread it to people, because this is something that the people, for some reason, from some odd reason, they don't want people to know about shit like this. And what I'm talking about is this site is called Real Not Rare. It's a site dedicated for numerous individuals, no matter no matter where they from over the planet, no matter what color they are, no matter what religion they came from, no matter what background they came from, they all are suffering from the same afflictions, and that is ailments that have came about after them getting a procedure. And this is something that I don't really hear too many people talking about, but it's kind of numbing when you go through it and you read some of these people names. It just goes on and give you the descriptions of how they were living before they had their procedure, and then what's going on with them after the fact. And it's so crazy to know. Matter of fact, let's go to what it's about. So crazy to think that, and I get why they say it real, not rare, because stuff like this, for some reason, well, it ain't no for some reason. A lot of people know why they doing the crap, but they won't speak on stuff like this. And when you're dealing with a environment, when you're dealing with the pharmaceutical and health institutions disregarding the need to have any liability on any of the stuff that they're putting out here, and then the stuff that this same stuff is being force fed to people. I mean, it should be an automatic. It don't matter what devastation is going on, man. If you can't get past that devastation and without running into more devastation with people forcing you to do shit, something's off. I mean, that's just fucking. That's why I always said from the beginning, these folks been murdering people. Whatever they put out here, it was done for a fucking reason to get people out of here. And they have to pay the piper for that. Those that knew about that shit, those behind the scenes, whoever. I really don't give a fuck. If you had anything to do with this shit, man, that murdered all these people, including people that from loved ones, and allowed this incident where people had to be force fed and forced to do certain shit, and then find out that a lot of this stuff wasn't even safe. People suffering from it. So let me go to the mission statement. Our government has asked us to do our part to stop the virus. We thought we were doing the right thing. Now we are injured, many severely. We are hurting, in pain, and losing our jobs. We are demanding our government do the right thing by acknowledging our injuries, as well as establish compensation for the tens of thousands who have been injured or have died. Hey, and that's simple. Man, this government couldn't even afford to pay back everybody that have been just afflicted by these procedures, let alone you go into the murder of thousands of people across the country due to the COVID protocols in the hospitals. They couldn't afford to pay nothing back. But the thing that you notice right here, we do the right thing by acknowledging. They don't even want to do that. They try not to acknowledge that people out here are being fucked up by this stuff. And it takes, sites like this and the other grassroots to let their story be known. It's kind of sad because your own media and everything, well, if the media got a hold of this, they'll immediately call it conspiracy. Probably, ban it, censor it, and all this other shit. So let's go to what it says about us. We are a completely independent grassroots movement comprised of thousands of people who have become united through our human suffering. This is not political. We are not here to debate the vaccine program or masks. Many of us have lost loved ones to COVID and take it seriously. We simply need quality acknowledgement, quality health care, and compensation for the injured. We rolled up our sleeves to do our part to stop the pandemic. Now we have been left out cold by the very same government who urged us to get our doses. This must change. That's so typical of this government. Everyone keeps telling us how rare we are. Everyone keeps saying the vaccines are safe and effective. Everyone keeps reminding us of how many people got the vaccine and are just fine. And I have to agree with that. I hear so many people talking shit every day. Well, I got it. Ain't nothing wrong with me. And they walk that shit around like a badge of honor. Like, so fucking what? You ain't the only person out here. Thousands of millions, billions of human beings across this planet. Just because one thing ain't fucking with you don't mean that it ain't fucking with the other billion of people that's out here. Maybe it has to do with your body makeup. Maybe it has to do with something that, a person really don't have no understanding of at the moment. But, that shit there is sad, man. However, what everyone says does not change our reality or the fact that we still need acknowledgement, support, open discussion, research, and help. And you damn sure know that they ain't gonna get it with the present stuff that's going on. And then it goes on to say our demands, our elected officials and federal health agencies must start acknowledging our adverse reactions to the vaccines. We need the government to establish compensation for the tens of thousands who have been injured or have died. Kind of sound like reparations. That's the same thing, you might well say. The medical community needs to be informed of these adverse reactions so that we can obtain better medical care. That's understandable. I do not trust this medical system. The system is not about health. It has to really be transformed from the inside out, all the way around, man. The healthcare industry is not meant to cure and to save people and to keep people in the best health as possible. It's only meant to keep fear, death, and drive profit rates up. That's all it is. At the expense of people who put their trust in a lot of medical professions. And a lot of them don't even know the answers to a lot of shit. They go to books that have been written by motherfuckers who were setting the standards years ago. But anyway, large research needs to be funded to increase understanding of these reactions, find a path to recovery, and to help make the vaccine safer for everyone. There is currently no safety net for those Americans injured. This is purposely done. It would be what is in common. You don't even see the common sense around it about having all this stuff out here and not being able to have proper information, being able to hold companies liable. Just a few weeks ago, that these folks wouldn't even allow data to come out. The FDA wouldn't even allow safety data to come out in all these, procedures until 75 years. Like what sense does that make? Why is everything always seems to be a hidden factor when it comes to facts, when it comes to data and shit, when it comes to the people, especially shit that, you see being pushed on people. So number 5 goes in to say, stop the censorship on social media. Our real life stories are being labeled as misinformation. We are not misinformation. That's real. And this is what is creating this environment in society where you got people who don't want to be bothered with other people who are simply, and some people's eyes, is lost. And you're not going to endanger my life and family and everything else because you want to roll with the plans of devils. And this is what this helps stir that shit up. And please, it don't matter what color you are. There's devils and all come in all colors, whites, blacks, everywhere around. Asian. Some are poor, some are rich, some are in between, some are Muslim, some are Christian or claim that. So, this is what it is. The public needs to stop labeling and putting us in a box. We come from all walks of life and are united in our suffering. Each individual who has been injured has unique and differing viewpoints on all subjects around the pandemic. These viewpoints have no bearing on the reality that they are vaccine injured and need help. They are still fellow human beings who try to do the right thing and have been marginalized, abandoned, and silenced. And that's fucked up. Kind of like how they do veterans, especially veterans who fought ferociously, defending this so-called democracy, and then out on the streets, some of them had hard times, health days, and can't get no act right out of the government, but you get used, abused, and tossed to the side. Our purpose, to raise awareness of the many vaccine injuries that are happening, to create community of support for the injured. No one should go through this alone. To give a voice to those who have been silenced and embolden them to speak out, which that is needed, man. People need to start speaking out on a lot of shit. They're too worried about what their friends and what their next person next to them are going to say, family members, what government, what people, city officials going to say. Hell, all of them need to be called out. Everything needs to be called out. To advocate with our elected officials and medical community in order to educate, spur research, and affect change where needed. We encourage all of the injured to be involved with advocacy by providing the tools and resources they need. To help change public perception, this is not red versus blue or us versus them. This is humanity versus disease. To help provide the injured with known resources as we discover them. So this is okay, and this copyright 2022. So this was interesting when I came across this, because out of the many people who I've heard of who suffered from different issues, where this is the only group that I've seen that come out. And like I said, I'm surprised they're even still on the internet without this being labeled and taken off. But this is the real, man. It's fucked up and it's sad because this is revealing and helps to bear witness to the fact that, so many people took on that mantle of doing what is right or what they perceive to be right because of what certain people was telling them. And, this happened. But, this is the big thing. When you look in the political circles, whether it be city, state, or federal, all these so-called politicians, whether they be from the small town to the grand stage of governing the country. I mean, you rarely, you don't. Now, all these people are supposedly vaccinated. All these people are supposedly have taken these procedures. Matter of fact, many of them got in front of TV to try and spur people to get out and go get tested or get procedures, and they show them all on camera. The reality is, in a world where theatrics and all this shit, person don't know. I'll never say that they did what they. So what? They was on camera and looking like they got a shot. That don't mean shit, but it's kind of fucked up and it kind of questionable. I mean, I always look at it like this, and that's just me. But you never hear any of these people. All these people that took all these shots. Only thing you hearing about them is every now and then, they like the vice president, Kamala Harris. She caught COVID. She got a quarantine. But you never hear of any of these people having all these symptoms and all this stuff that's happening. You have people who passed away from from what could be considered stuff that comes from these procedures. People who were otherwise straight, healthy, didn't have no issues. Some young, like damn. And then when you look at everything that's happening with people having heart attacks, and so many people are dying every day. And it ain't all about the pandemic. Some of it is about other shit and not violent ways. Some people are actually dying from other health issues. And it seems like every day you find it. So it's like, but all these folks, all these leaders, all these so-called leaders, and all these these policy makers and all this shit, all these folks that rolled up they sleeves on camera. Yeah, we getting the shot. Get out there and get it. And it seems like, damn, it almost makes you wonder, like, why ain't none of them falling ill? Why ain't none of them getting sick? Why ain't none of them being affected by some of this stuff that so many seem like average people who just out here following orders or doing what they perceive as best. Why aren't they getting having issues like this? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking into it too much, but it just seems to me odd, and it's a standout point. So I just wanted to bring awareness to this. If anybody may come across this video, I mean, this place, Real Not Rare, you can look it up. You can Google it and it'll pop up. That's why I was surprised that something like this was even left on left on this thing. It's sad, man, when you look at it. When you think about it, it's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people done what they perceive to be the right thing, and it's sad when you have to suffer behind that. And you just, you go through, you see the different people, and so like I said, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm with humanity. I don't care. Ain't no dividing lines. Folks need to realize that everything ain't everything ain't kosher on this end when it comes to that. So I just wanted to share that real quick, and then I'm gonna go into this, because we still are living in fucked up time period. if you if you know anything, uh, if you know anything about the times that we living in, far spiritually, or have any intuition on things, you know, it's almost like you already prepared. You're ready, because you know it's more to it than what these folks are saying, and what is being perceived out in the public. And you can see the many people out here who are getting disingenuously uh, upset with government and with those who claim to be in leadership positions. So I ran across this Boston Herald today. You voters not pleased by either party, according to Harvard poll. That should be something that should be uh, amazing to hear. Wonderful. Why would you want the youth to continue to pick up the baton where the parents and the adults, so-called intelligent adults, have left off and have accomplished nothing but disunity and confusion and authoritarianism and all this other shit. Excuse me, keep getting this on. I don't know why I keep doing that. But youth voters not pleased by either party, according to Harvard poll. Now, of course, these polls take these polls with a grain of salt, but when it comes down to this, the youth are actually hold on 1 minute. Come on now. Okay. A research poll out of Harvard held several stark warnings for politicians. The youngest voting bloc in the country isn't the least bit impressed with either party's messages, and they intend to vote about it. How they intend to vote about it, I don't really know. I'm not sure there's great news in here for either party, for Democrats or Republicans. I don't think there's a lot to be happy about, quite honestly. And that's truth. I'm surprised that person didn't get censored. Oh no, this democracy is running. And I'm not going to go into much more, but this is really a wake-up call. And I commend any youth that moves forward from this shit, man. I mean, this stuff has to be addressed. There's no way. Why would you want to continue to go the same way we've been going, and nothing has? The only thing that keeps happening is confusion, division, the outright theft of people's energetic earnings by those who want to maintain financial control over society, and those that help to pursue that shit in the elected bodies of government from city on up. So who would want to continue to keep doing that shit? Who would want to continue to see that government continue to throw money at in areas where, you know, your own neighbors, your own countrymen are fucked up? Your own people who fought for the country are fucked up. Who would want to continue to support a government or those who claim they represent that government for the people that are doing opposite? Who wants to continue to support those who use politics as a means of controlling a narrative to a point where anything outside critically of that narrative must automatically be shot down, and anybody that speaks on it must be handled, and any information that's put out there must be taken down? Who wants to do that? That's same shit as back in the day. Bring all the books to the square and burn that shit. We don't want these motherfuckers learning, you know, the same fucking shit, man. Who would want to continue to do that? And people who will want to continue to do that, it's unfortunate, but yes, you are lost and don't have no understanding of really what's going on. So yes, it's always good to hear youth. The youth are not impressed about this shit because hell, they know they're gonna be fucked up when we gone. When the adults, you know, if you look at over the past 2 years, so many older heads, so many elders that were wise, that had wisdom, are gone all over the planet. So it's always a good thing to see some shit like this. So I commend and more power to them. Any way that moral or obligatory support, I'm there because the kids, the youth, the children, they are going to inherit this shit, including the bullshit that people keep allowing governments to do. And if people don't stop it, the children, the youth, are going to be the ones that suffer tremendously. So I just wanted to go into that, and because I'm not gonna be on here that long. I just want to go into this shit with Elon Musk real quick, because this has been the big thing. Elon Musk, the guy who everybody is jumping behind now because of the shit. And it's some people that agree with Musk, some don't. Me personally, I think that it's more to Musk than what he's letting off, and it's been seen. I mean, people who just now jumping into the bandwagon just because Musk wanted to buy Twitter, or he bought Twitter. I mean, this shit been going on for so many years with Musk. Musk has always been somebody that's been sitting up here doing Trump-like shit, calling out folks, calling out this, calling like that, calling out this, to put in the perception in the eyes of people that he's really calling out the establishment. He's calling out those in power and all this other stuff when he's actually in power himself. He's the world, according to the money watchers, he's the world richest man. I don't know if he's still that after purchasing Twitter, but this is the outlook that people have on him. And his whole deal about Twitter, everybody running to Twitter because Twitter came with all this bullshit. They are one of the entities that are censoring and banning folks' accounts, especially in pertaining to the pandemic. Anybody that said anything against the narrative, you taken out, you're banned for life, some. And so with Elon pushing for to bring that back open and open it up for free speech, of course people gonna jump on it. Of course people gonna support this man and jump behind it. They just stopped following one savior and went to another one. And the sad thing about it is, if people look into Elon Musk's past, he's guilty of the same shit he's claiming he's trying to remedy. Of course, you could take a lot of this at a grain of salt, but there's numerous articles from back in the past when from people from back in the past, from incidents that happened at the Tesla plants, the racism, the inequality that was showed. Not only that, he's also was guilty of not being critiqued. Didn't want to hear people critiquing him, but he can sit up and critique the establishment, the elite, or whatever all day long. But when it came to critiquing him on what's going on with him and his shit and how he treating people at Tesla or SpaceX or whatever, or in general, he didn't want to hear it. He moved to try and get them folks censored. So what's the difference? So I guess it remains to be seen what's going to go down. But everybody's jumping behind it. People are angry, and it just shows you how stupid a lot of people have gotten. And I'm going to use it. It just shows you how stupid people have gotten. But motherfuckers just sit up here and think, oh man, anybody gonna be able to say something? Anybody? Stupid as fuck, man, how they constantly do this shit. These folks trying to kill everybody. The anti-human agenda going on. These motherfuckers sitting up talking about stupid shit like that. Because you can't get, because a motherfucker get on Twitter now and say, wake up, folks. The government trying to kill you. They're trying to steal from you. Sad, man. But this is one of the biggest hypocritical things I don't support. And I never, once I always kind of was leery about Elon Musk, to be honest. Even when he did that shit with that car, he shot out in space. For what? Just to shoot a car out in space and have it float around. I think it was more to that shit. If it even happened, but never really understood why he did that shit. Just because it just got billions of dollars, just do it. It's claim he test a rocket and do it. But out of the companies that he have Tesla, he has SpaceX, he has with SpaceX is now going to be the shuttle bus for so-called NASA astronauts to the space station or whatever. I don't know how long that's gonna last, because I know Russian US ain't on good terms, so I guess they gonna go to the station when ain't no Russians there. I don't know, but they already said they not shuttling no American astronauts to the space station. So why would you even want to put yourself in a situation like that? I think last year they was trying to say that American astronauts was sabotaging the space station. So you people, even astronauts and shit are put in a debacle like that. But his other one of his other shits is Neuralink. In which he's trying to implement a procedure in which you have brain chips and connect it to AI. And for some reason, it's been heard in every truth movement all over. I ain't not heard nothing about AI merging with humanity. This is the whole thing what transhumanism means. And of course, there's one of the monkeys, and in the video, that monkey is actually playing a video game. And this is the link. He wants to put that shit in human beings, so that human beings who are naturally born with the conscious essence of God, that ability that stands out in human beings, that a lot of it that they don't really want people to know the truth of. He wants to merge humans with AI, like a lot of people, like a lot of elites and motherfuckers who are here, they got all this money and just doing shit. They want to do the same fucking thing. They want people to merge with AI. Shit, a lot of the governments are moving toward that social credit shit that's in China. And that shit is just a model for the rest of the world. They want motherfuckers to be merged in with AI. And therefore, you give up your conscious authority as being a being with consciousness granted from a supreme creator, because now you can't think for yourself. It always had free will. You was born to have a choice of free will, God-given right. But if you link yourself to an AI, ain't no telling who's the programmer of that AI. We already been programmed. And the only difference is we still have a spiritual conscious stake in the game right now. But when you have that taken out, then you have lost all control and have lost connection to that which makes all of us important. So that's another thing why I don't trust him. And even though he says what he says, he calls out people. He brags on about bringing free speech back to social platforms and all this stuff. I still can't see somebody who's trying to do this type of shit to humanity. I can't see that. And maybe I could be wrong. Some people have greed, some don't, and it's all good. But to each their own. But to those that don't know, this is also Elon Musk. The same man is doing it. So when people get on Twitter and shit, oh, I'm free to do this now. Maybe one of y'all could tweet and say, well, are you still gonna try and get human beings to put chips in their brain? See if he respond. I don't know. I just want to get on here for a minute and share some stuff and then back on up out of here because it's workout time. But I just like to send love and peace to every person who comes across this video or earshot of this video. Do these tumultuous times, continue to stand on truth. Hopefully everyone will continue to do that. Stand on truth, no matter what these folks continue to say. And sometimes it hurts. You have to even deal with people around you, your loved ones and everything else on this stuff. But you know, the intent is for everyone to know the truth. And it's coming. It's all the process has already been underway. And that what is in the dark will come to light. And I greet each and every one in the universal words of peace as I came.